Oh, morning or evening to everybody tune in. We're about to get started with yet another derust attempt. I've updated our splits a bit, we've updated our notes, done some warm-up, and hopefully that will mean that we get better than the 216 we put up last night. We're still aiming for that sub 203 to get a PB, but our real goal is sub 2. We're looking to shave 4 minutes off our PB overall, but the current short-term goal I think is getting sub 210. Pretty doable. Last night we had a bunch of deaths, we had some mechanical flubs, and just overall wasn't a great run. We had some wonkiness with R1, all sorts of stuff. But we went through, we practiced, and yeah, now I think we are more or less ready to go. Just got that box pop out. Okay. Don't forget that. Okie doke. That go. All right. Without further ado, I'm gonna get underway. Yeah, that 216 is what we put up last night. All we're turning for is better than that in general. Going for a reset run. Fish and luck. There's still a lot of stuff that I need to improve on. Menu definitely clean up, but I'm getting that back into muscle memory and active thought memory. If that makes sense. Back into my brain. So, I talking complete nonsense. That's about how start to stream ends up going. Oh, and today I don't have mic problems to start off. You have not skipping the cutscene problems though. That one was a hot mess, but we'll work with it. Right, good box at least. And we got the backward jump off of barrel. God, the cutscene. This is how we know I am a runner, not a top tier runner. This early game shenanigans. Beating the 216 should be pretty straightforward at least. Not sweating that. Excuse me. do one, but only one. Getting the 230 range with the failed skips. Bad Shadows 1. Shadows 2. Actually not bad. It's just, I obviously better than that. And wasting 3 minutes of it. Alright, the interrupted combo actually helped me. Okay, not the jump, not the distance. I was gonna get left. Better to just finish the combo on the ground, not get the backward jump, than have to advantage. Talk to the Alright. Good start into middle at the heart. Confirmation box. Just so everyone knows, there is exactly 3.5 seconds of whiteout load screen there. Alright, 26 seconds. Not bad. Definitely could have been a lot better, but eh. Alright. Sometime I want to watch how long this concepts actually take me. Everyone talking about it being 8 seconds. Alright. Right, because we reset our best second there. No, we can get a 213 at least. Definitely do better than. But 213. Our new max, which is nice. Probably gonna see some best set on me. Setting a couple of things. Alright. Maybe some reflection. So the reason we Keyblade swing there is to pair ourselves on the hitbox of the log. You just finished going up the ladder normally, to land and have to walk over to it. Day 1 complete is solid. A little late on that. Yeah, you can do second set of drum starts. And fade out completes. This one, fade out. Well. Tree, fish. I don't know how long they anticipate the supplies that they gather here to last them, but, you know, kids will be kids. Because we get 3 fish, 3 mushroom, a seagull egg and some water, and 2 coconuts. Split between 3 kids on a raft out at sea for an extended period of time. Nobody said these kids were smart. Long ass camera pan along the course, showcasing half of it. And then Sora's just, you know, chilling, standing. That is one of the weirdest, like, animation choices. I'm guessing they just didn't want to program in another pose for Sora. Or they thought it would be weird for him to have a, like, standing running animation there, but not anywhere else in the game. It was definitely a choice, but it just looks goofy. Because Riku's all like hunched down to the ground, ready to go, and Sora's just casually standing there. Like, are you even serious about this? Do you really like this girl? What's the deal here? Riku, meanwhile, is out here reneging on beds at the ripe age. What are they, like 12, 13 in this? Beautiful. Good coach. Good coach. Alright. Destiny Islands is gone. Pretty fantastic. Gotta get our turn in here. In good shape. That was a near best segment. Take that. Get that skip a little bit earlier. One's the fade out finishing. Likewise is the finish. One is as the close. One is a music cue. Fade out finishing. Another fade in, finishing. One is as the game starts. Alright, so far so good. That one is loading heart from the bottom vanishes for the second time. There's technically 2 loads that happen there. move the camera in the hallway. Why it's getting noises. Yep, that was a pretty much perfect skip right there. As soon as you see what to change animation styles. Alright. A little slower than it could have been. I didn't get either of the reflects on orbs. My timing on combos was off. I needed to do one fewer hit on both of the setups for them before going full combo to actually get the reflect, but it's still time save. This is just the game advising you, being like, hey, why don't you go check out this thing first? Get some advice. You don't really need that, like, right in here. Get into a Heartless combat. 3, you have to get 5 Heartless. Shadow buddies. 4, going into the shop here. Both sets of dialogue at the same time. Well, trigger all of the dialogue with Sid and have the exit trigger for interacting with Leon. So. That was awkward as hell. So I whiffed on an early hit, which meant that he wasn't at the proper damage threshold to do his retaliation on the finisher of my first combo. And then I ended up doing a full finisher after the retaliation, knocking him back. Just awkward. This one's as soon as the loading is gone. And our last cutscene to skip. Come over and talk to Leon times. That one's as soon as her text bubble goes away. Shocked. Shock the Pikachu face text box. Toggle lock once with left trigger during that, as soon as the second swing is in motion, so that the finisher carries us across. All you need at this point to kill one of the soldiers is a finisher. That's the clear of 3 that we need for the XP threshold. Get a level up right before guard. Like so. This is a really good clear that time. Alright, a little slow, could have been better. Gotta wait for him to flip over here. The soldiers was good, which made up for the bad fight. Overall, not bad. Still have time to save there. Have one more cutscene to skip and a bunch of text to match through. We got our intro to Council of Darkness / E, whatever you want to call it. And then we come back here because we beat Leon. We get a little something extra called an elixir. But otherwise, this is a bunch of tutorial bullshit telling you about various mechanics of the game, including Gummy Ship and abilities and magic. Jiminy says, "Don't forget about me. Keep a journal of all the shit you do." little sloppy there to start, but that's okay. And then this is an explainer of trinities, which is exploitable in English. Alright. Marginally slow, but faster than previously. And now we get to AFK a little bit. I'm going to step away from the computer for a moment to go grab myself some water. All right. Well, we have some okay time to save here on Crank Tower. And I think we have time to save on Trick Master. Well, are so good though. The one thing to note in this next section is we want to slowly combo the gears for Crank Tower, because otherwise it won't register all of the damage properly. But once the gears are down, you can combo on the tower itself as much as you want. This scene is unskippable on this version of the game. There are versions of the game that it is skippable, and there is technically a mod to restore the skippability of that, but we're not allowed to use it. Alright. Everything smooth so far. And a bunch of text to mash, and we'll have an enemy kill. Donald gets a pet cat, which makes some sense because of that. A little bit of awkwardness on the walls. I'm surprised I didn't spawn anything in either direction. And now it's trial time. So far I'm 2 for 2 on Heartless here. Not 100% this time, but we're going with this box. Got the duck. Although we all do know that the duck is criminal. Alright. Overall not bad. Fade out was kind of bad, but fight itself was okay. I guess the gummy menu where we're looking at that. Well, my menuing in T1 was bad, so that's part of that. Gummy menu was a little slow. So, yeah. Those two things add up. This is one of those worlds that, like, if you've never played it and are playing it casually, it can be horribly confusing and you have way more time than it really needs to. But in a speedrun sense, once you actually know the path, it's one of the shortest runs. And you basically go from one boss fight to another. You can dodge roll to the latch there. Jumping is safer because it won't spawn the Heartless in until you actually touch down on the ground. So if you're low at all on interaction, you don't get blocked out with a jump, whereas you can with a bad reaction on dodge roll. Alright. Pretty good. Overall, we're faring solidly against last night's run. Hey, Elite. Thank you for the good luck. And hope you're having a good afternoon / evening or morning, depending on what time zone you're in. Good day. There we go. Something to fit everybody. So far, we're shaping up pretty well. So, let's see. Versus my PB, I'm actually ahead by 5 seconds because Wonderland was just that bad. Not too shabby so far. Our first kind of like PB is a 203. That's this comparison that I have up now. 203.51. Last night's derust run, which was only my second one because I went in and did a blind derust run 2 nights ago. First derust was a 223. Last night's was this 216 that I'm comparing against right now. So I got 7 minutes of time save essentially last night. But we're still 13 out from our current PB and 17 out from our goal. But we're actually currently ahead of our PB, which is kind of hilarious. Because I had a really good Traverse Town in my PB. I had a comparable Dived Hard Through Destiny Islands as my PB. And then I had a much better Wonderland this time. So it's not much to gauge against because that run was all over the place, but did way better than average on a number of worlds. So we'll see how this one goes. Mostly we're just aiming for sub 210 on this one and hoping to continue to shake off the rust and build in some of the patterns and items that changed since the last time I actually did that. Not bad, not bad. Saving a little. Take it. Great, that was usual. Touch the save, so we're good. We touched the save point there, so that when we go on, ooh, this is a terrible slide collection. Okay, well, have to go back around to that. Okay, we're losing most of our time. That set of mistakes. We touch the save point so that after this scene, we can use it as a warp in point from the gummy ship between loads being what they are and load removal. Actual save time, leaving the world and coming back via that save point, as opposed to going a couple maps away and climbing behind. What we had to do, PS3. Like so. Alright. I still can save time here, but there's just less of over available to me, especially as we continue. Bad bits of it. That's okay. Then, for derusting, this world is always a bit all over. Oh, nice. Very nice. I have yet to actually work my way up to 10, but I've been slowly working through all of the Final Fantasy time as a casual player. Okay, that's pretty clear of those. And 225 is really not bad, considering that's on PS5. Like, that is pretty comparable to my PB because you don't have the load removal. Depending on your machine, it can be up to about 16 minutes of loads removed. So your PC time would be somewhere around, oh god, 208. So that's a pretty solid time. It's definitely respectable. I don't know as much on what PS5 leaderboards look like because I'm paying as much attention to them. Come on. Go. Wish there was a way to add. Okay. Oh, okay. But still saved a little bit of time to keep terrible clears on those last 3 runs. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, I haven't done the PS4 version in forever. I've never done the PS5 version because I only got a PS5 earlier this year. Ugh, God. That one was real bad. But yeah, I'd be game to go up against each other if you wanted to racing on them. Wanted to get that, to pick it back up. I hope the FF10 runs are going well though. I'm kind of excited personally to actually make it to that game. Alright. That's a long run, then. Not like super long, but definitely on the longer side. But hey, you're real close to your goal. How much potential save do you have relative to that minute you're looking for? Did that one early. Oh well. Considering no animation skip, we will take that. Oh god, that's fair. 9 hour run with cutscene. Fucking brutal. Also, what is this camera? RNG heavy runs are brutal at times. So, I mean, hey, with a good RNG run, like, you are basically set up for success at least. So, but it can't. I can definitely understand how it would be really frustrating just waiting for a good RNG run. Yeah, is there anything really aside from attack patterns and spawn patterns? There's not really anything RNG in the one FM run at this point. Now that we have, at least on PC, with the ship mod. On console, you still have to deal with the small amount of RNG around hook ship, but that's pretty minimal. And only having one real element of RNG that could cost you a couple minutes at most if you've got the worst possible luck is definitely not a big deal. Because yeah, I think we still stand with a record of misses at 7 in a row on a single run. Which is still insane to me, given that, like, I didn't even realize you could miss hook ship until a good ways into speedrunning, because I pretty much never did. That is brutal, yeah. Item drop RNG being the run deciding element is kind of terrible. Like, the platinum run on this, that is one place where RNG is definitely a thing, and Defender and Wizard's Relic can both be giant assholes. True. At least on any percent. There's nothing drops wise except in. Let's see, does JJ care about any drops? I don't think so. Yeah, no, JJ doesn't care about anything for drops. It's literally just plat percent. Where you need the synthesis drops and the equip drops. And we've minimized the synthesis side of it. It's literally just Defender and Wizard's Relic that can be the big FUs RNG-wise. And then, well, the last one being Gummy Blueprints. You could get a little bit boned on that for flat percent. Alright. We're back. Not with one roll. Because last time we did a slightly different thing on our movement rather than what everyone else does. I'm gonna stick with it for now. Use the trick. Thank you. That was less good than last time, but still okay. So top runners do blizzards onto those yellow operas, I think. Or God, I can never keep the namings of the Nocturnes, Requiem, operas, rhapsodies straight. I think it's yellow opera. But yeah, blizzard onto those to clear them. But if you're slow about it or positioned poorly, you end up spawning the rhapsodies that just did. Rhapsody? Yeah. Which then means you have more enemies to deal with. And they likewise, yellow operas will not despawn properly. All right. Going pretty decent so far. So Dumbo skip I do not do because my technical execution level is not super good. I tried adding it in and I found that I would have to practice it a hell of a lot for it to be a time save for me. Chamber 3 skip that we added in during that timing, I do. Barrel-less Destiny Islands Day 1, I don't do, even though it is a time save. It's another one of those consistency things. And for a difference of 1.5 seconds, like that's not significant enough for me to risk the consistency hit. I'm aware of all of these, but I only do the Chamber 3 skip. Okay. To get the extra dumped part. You do try to do the Chernobog pushback avoidance that he tried to discontinuing to push. That has been known for a very long time, just didn't really get adopted. If there's anything beyond those kind of 4 things, I'm not really familiar with them. But I think that's pretty much it. So I also do use the defense ups because, again, my technical execution is not really up to snuff with other people. Ugh. That was a bad cell. That is not where we want to be. Yeah, we're losing. Focusing. Well, we had 28 seconds to save here, so I might still save some time just because the derust run was that bad. And that's the thing, is I can keep having kind of menus like that throughout, where it's like I'm burning 2 to 5 seconds on just menu stuff. Or moments like that where I'm coming out of a cutscene, don't do the proper interaction. Getting away from the bad habit of pausing on text cutscenes. But this is what, a year plus of inactivity. What about you? Are you incorporating any of those elements yourself? Camera angle. Alright, I don't know that we're gonna save time here. Hopefully we don't really. Pretty much even. Not a huge fan of it, but. Alright, that bit was a little bit better. So yeah, if you're putting up a 206/224, you still have a pretty substantial amount of available time saved to you. Like my sound best is a 156 right now. And those 4 components add up to less than 10 total seconds across the run when optimized. And it's one of those things that, like, as a point of discussion, there's an argument to be made of do them from the start so that you get used to them versus do the more consistent, less technically demanding options, even though they're slower, so that you can get used to the run. Like, that's the thing, is those, you could do the old versions of all of those strats and still technically get world record. If you're working at world record pace, though, there's no reason, like, your execution is good enough to where there's no reason you shouldn't. Whereas if you're aiming for, like, just sub 2, kind of like I am, there's plenty of other stuff to work on and, like, narrow back down on that you don't really need to put it. The time difference between English and JP, you still could technically hold world record on English with how much time save is available in the run. It would just be really hard. Like, the time difference between the 2 languages isn't enough to make it impossible. It's just nearly impossible at this point. Sure. But again, depending on what your goal is, that may not mean as much. Like, if you're going for world record, not only should you, like, make the changes for those routing optimization pieces, but you should probably look at doing Japanese instead. That was a terrible clear. So yeah, I mean, running on English, aiming for the equivalent of sub 2. Like, again, it can, like, if you have the technical execution capability for a bunch of those elements, it can be worth it. But if you have any concern of, like, oh, I might screw this up, you stand to lose more time through flubbed fights there than what you would save by doing the slightly faster option. Oh, I forgot to throw all that in there. That was floppy in bed. So that's another one of those optimizations that I'm not as comfortable with yet. Don't want that accessory. It's still, by and large, better than the last time I did this room, because I actually spawned shit last time. But why did you have to go and use all of your MP? Oh, fastest is Chinese, that's interesting. Oh my god, these pots. This pot chain is so long. That was straight trash. Oh, all the way through. So what I will say about at least this run, um, there's I'd say you actually stand to gain more time through just learning Japanese beyond even the 45 seconds just by learning the run because it forces you to memorize menu patterning rather than learning the language. Which I'd say is one of one of the biggest time losses people face is on just menuing alone. And yeah, like the language difference forces you to have better menus. That would be the biggest incentive I can personally say for making the language switch. If you're on PC and you own the Steam version already, you own both versions. Because one of the things that playing on English encourages you to do is sit and take the time to read what you're doing, as opposed to just having the button inputs kind of in your brain, in your body, ready to go. Like, if you can't read the language, you're less likely to... Your brain is less likely to reflexively try to... Oh, that's bad. God damn it. Alright, well. Why is that twice in a row? God. Ugh, I practiced this before anyway. Well, I may not actually beat last night's derust, but for doing this is no reset. The fact that with how bad that was, I only lost 9 seconds is embarrassing. Honestly, that could have been way worse. Interesting that he ends up doing a double arm swing and he ends up staying there longer. Good to note. And out we go. Alright. Well, we're going to be doing more than one run today in general anyway, so Agrabah is going to be one place where we have a decent amount of time save available. Oh. Off to Monstro. So yeah, I would say if you're looking, well, okay, if you're looking to do it on console, obviously you only own the English version right now. But I would say look at getting a good capture of your split times, and try to see if you can figure out, actually, wait, no, hold on. I'm overthinking this. So I have a spreadsheet pinned in the Discord, which allows you to do segment by segment time comparisons against another person's runs. If you can pull the segments from world record on PS5, and plug them into that, that'll let you know which ones are being your biggest time losses. My guess, just from like knowing how this run goes, knowing what most above 2-minute run times look like, I would guess your big time losses are on HB2 and Lock, Shock, and Barrel. Because there's a lot of movement and tech-related time in that section. The other place I would say is TT. Let's see. What's the other big one? Agrabah has some stuff in it, but it's not too bad. Riku 1 can definitely be a bit wonky on that front. Yep. Good to end up with a segment on this one. I did reset it to last night's because of the routing chain. Right, not the best, not the worst. Okay, well. Still faster than yesterday. And into chamber 4. Should be a pretty decent, as long as the fight isn't garbage. Only 2 seconds. Definitely still have probably 6 plus to save on that. That's okay. How are we faring? Our troubles. That. Cool. Alright. Okay on the movement. Still kind of slow on the mid. Alright. Not bad. I did forget to toggle lock onto the core after it fell over. Kind of keep forgetting that's the thing, but reminded myself partway through. Probably could have saved like 2 more seconds by doing that a little bit earlier, but still saving time, so we take it. We have a lot of time save available to us here. Fight was bad, pathing was bad, and I know we also have a bunch of time to save on manner fight. We should theoretically come out of next world ahead. Okay. Oh yeah, and we also started the gummy mission wrong last time. So many small things that went wrong back to back in this split. So we're already ahead of where we were. Whee! Saving time. Yeah, this one area where some time save will be coming. I'm not doing all of that. Coming straight over here. Man, if only we could get an earlier haste 2, that would be phenomenal. Alright, pretty good. But yeah, unsurprisingly, this is one of the longest sections. And I'm gonna have to menu here in a sec, so one moment. For oh, that's the other thing. We have light for Wi-Fi. Alright. Getting the ghost there was awkward, but still not bad. Oh, it's cool when like overall, I think I'm about to save some time here. Versus real PB, we're almost 2 minutes behind, but that's again kind of about what I would expect. The Jafar fight was great trash, but it was on last night's derust as well. Jafar 1 is kind of being a giant right now. That was a terrible game. So, I think we're going to be about breaking, actually. 2, 6. But this is what I mean about not having particularly clean things like the graveyard fight. And so when presented with the option of a high degree of accuracy, a bit of fighting and movement in Hollow Bastion, as opposed to the use of a summon or minor time save, I'm opting for summon instead because it's going to be. Yep. Not necessarily an element of RNG, it's I am bad. And thus I want things easier for me. And that's black fungus again. Oh, let's see. Yeah, definitely not saving much due to combination like graveyard, black fungus. That's fucking. Ugh. Oh my god. I swear I'm not this bad. Oh. Alright, well, we're finishing out the no reset, but we're probably not beating last night's derust. Oh, okay. If I beat last night's derust, that will be both miraculous and just kind of embarrassing. Falling off this house is not something that's happening, but here we are. Uh, 2 minutes to save if I do actually beat the rest, just on that one split. And we're 3.5 behind PB. Alright, well. We're not stressing though. Glad hit me with that, otherwise I probably would have missed. God damn it. Alright. Not ideal, but I'll take it. No dice reflect and a bad dice turn up. Is what it is. Huh? Dropping combo. That was a good save from that awkward plank. Okay, we actually got up. One try. 23 seconds just from not screwing that jump up. Gravity here. Now we get top. Top there. Gravity. Next roll. Or no. Top and monstro gravity here. Power of the stone. Alright. I'm guessing we're gonna be slightly behind this time. I can't compare to average right now because I don't have more than one run's data of a couple of my splits because of clearing the best segments. I think. Not entirely sure why I would jump my average. But off to Neverland. I forget Fizz. The PS5 version of the intro cutscene is not skippable. The Xbox version for the PC, if I remember correctly. Yeah, unsurprised by that point. And just that. Alright. That's my top. Alright. Well, not as good as it could have been. But not bad. Thank you. Right. That should result in okay time save here as well. We're not missing out on stupid menu things. Floppy on mom fight. Ugh. Should have been much better. Floppy as hell. Glad I didn't die. That's all there is to it. Alright. We might best segment here, depending on how well we actually do this. Alright, good dumbbell pickup. Go. You love that clear. That was a lot better than last time. And we ring the bell. Boom. Bell. Obstar. That's it. Alright. Yo. Right. Join. Not a particularly good fight, but still better than the derust run we were going against, so take it. Thank you for the good luck. Camper, how are you doing? This run has been all over the place, but it's only my third run back, and there's some routing changes and stuff, and I was gone for a year, essentially, after basically only being back for like a couple weeks after being gone for another year, so it's closer to gone. I'm doing alright. I'm having fun. Even if, again, my time's all over the place. Still shaking off that rust. Alright. Now, for yet another fight that went horribly wrong yesterday. Like, I didn't die, at least, on it last night, but I did not do it well. But yeah, just getting back into the swing of things, saying hi to people who stop by, and learning some of the new minor routing elements. Learning and or trying. So like there's Gumbo Skip Skip. It's technically faster that I'm not adopting, just because it's reliant on clean execution of a fight section, which is one of my weakest aspects for this game. precise mob clearing and positioning not something it's one of my weak points, so having a time save that is basically strictly reliant on that is less ideal than something that's a little bit more guaranteed, like Dumbo Skip, where I'm just completely ignoring mob fights and it will be consistent for me. Like, there's still an element of execution I have to pull off with it, but it's not nearly as dependent on exact positioning and like interactions with mobs. And then there's barrel-less Destiny Islands Day 1, another one that I'm opting not to do. Because it only saves about 1.5 seconds over violins, and so one that's not super. Thank you very much for the follow, Pie Guy. Welcome to chat. Having a good day. It's super not pivotal for me to be getting that 1.5 seconds, and it's a precision piece of movement that, while I could potentially learn it, just like I used to do Koji Hop, the time investment to time save is not super crucial for getting my sub 2 goal. I'm kind of focusing in on the things that are larger volume time save, which is just cleaning up a bunch of the rest of the run and becoming more consistent overall. Also partially why I'm pushing as hard as I am for more no resets in general, because that was kind of the biggest hindrance to myself while I was grinding this game, was basically getting stuck in this loop of doing the first like quarter of the game on repeat for hours on end, and getting relatively decent at it, but honing that so much so while ignoring most of the rest of the run, so that I couldn't actually do it as one cohesive chunk to that same. So now we are doing some more no resets. We're back. This is our third run since coming back 2 nights ago, and we're gonna see how it goes. Peace. Man, I would laugh so hard if on one of these I actually got Defender off of that one kill right there. I'm sure it's had to have happened for somebody at some point. But, like, the odds on it are astronomically low. And for those people that care to know, that button that's in that back corner that you can barely see through this grate, that we can't really get to, is purely cosmetic. I have checked it. There is no interaction with it. You can get to it by modding the game a little bit, but it literally does nothing. That would be one thing that if Refined comes through and does like full passive modding on this game, I'd be interested for them to maybe give that button an interaction. But I have no idea what they'd actually link it to, and if they would hide anything behind it. I don't know if they've gotten to the point where they can actually like add assets to the game, like chests or things like that. I know some amount of spawn control is definitely happening and a lot of other things, but that, like, chests, I don't know if they've had map elements. I don't keep super close tabs on it. Alright. Not a great fight, but a lot better than last night's, so we'll take that time save. 2 minutes ahead, so we're in the sub 215 area now already. A little early on that staircase, that's okay. But there's lots of little things like my movement precision through sections like this. That end up eating away at my time, and that's something that like newer runners and runners looking for like sub 210, sub 215 times in general have to like look at a lot and figure out what areas they need to head on target. Also, the fact that these pops aren't targetable, but you have to actually kill them, most of the part of the game. Committing massive property damage. Thora gets to join the long list of RPG neighborhood nuisances. Didn't get my rail eject, that's okay. Hey! Thank you very much for the luck. Hope you're doing all right. You gonna come derust? Run yourself? We do love property damage in our 90s and early 2000 video game. Especially pots. I don't know what game designers had against like the ceramics industry, but they really had it out for pots. Not center my camera and moved a little bit too early when coming in here, which definitely screwed with that a little bit. I mean, in terms of like rage room experiences, I can definitely understand and agree with that. Like, it's definitely a thing, but why was there that understanding in the 90s, like 80s or 90s, when they first made the choice to start doing this? Or was it simply just, this is a really generically shaped container we can hide some, quote unquote, hide stuff in? Donald, piece of shit. Like, what are you throwing magic at right now? Yay, I'm glad you finished moving. I mean, if they hated art class, they wouldn't be over here making all of these models and stuff. And yeah, no, pottery is one of the older art forms, for sure. Alright. On my HB2 visit, I have distinct time save because I summoned Simba and then had to fight waves of enemies because I didn't get, oh. Right, that does. You duck! That's the first time I've failed that one in a long time. Oh well. I'll end up with time save here. It's okay. It's not going fast enough. I swear to God. This guy is making me clench so hard right now. Alright. Yeah, we're probably dropping about a minute. No worries. Good luck on phone charging. I'll be here. Well, this is fucking awkward as hell. God, that was a bad fight. Oh well, we'll have free as fuck time save here when we come back on the next run. I keep having these back and forth swaps of like, where am I losing time versus where am I saving time? Like, here I'm probably gonna save a bunch of time. Ah, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. This is why we're doing the full runs though, is to start getting consistency on, start building towards consistency on the game fights and the like full run through. Nope, that's awkward. God, I could have saved so much more time there if I... Like, that was a really, really clean fight in general, aside from that last stop. I'm pretty happy with that overall. Like, we'll take it. Could have been a best segment. Oh well. Did it itemless, so take it. Alright, Goofy, why you tornadoing some fucking helpless little shadows? What'd they ever do? Okay, Rikutu. we're trying for air combos at this point, and we'll see how that goes. Well, we got one DM. That's okay. As long as we're not dying here. God damn it. Did that one. Considering I had 2 DMs in there that eat up most of, if not more than what time I had to save there, you can fight. Still sloppy on the air combos, but I love you. So before, when I got my 203, I was still in the pattern of doing ground combos. And I'm still complete trash at air combos, as evidenced by that. Because I cannot lock him in for DM skip with them yet. But it's about the practice. And, like, it is also a showcase of just how much faster air combos can be. I just, you know, need to get better at it. And the time save there was because I died in the derust run, so, or like most of it. Some of it was definitely getting okay damage in with air combos. Donald being like, I'll handle this. Fucking bap your friend on his head. When he already just made like the ultimate sacrifice. Oh, double bonked even. And thank you. Yeah, that time with 2 DMs is really, like, I will take it. Okay. Final visit of Traverse Town. We have a bunch of time to save here. This might get us under the, right around the 210 mark. Sniper Wild. Only I was doing that one. That's not a skippable cutscene. Someday I will go through an entire run without improperly attempting to skip a text cutscene. It is not today. Or at least not this run. Might be today. One can dream. Again. And talk to City. Alright. Good chat with the chipmunks. And off to do our last gun. And our second to last gun mission. And we don't even have to finish this one. Man, I'm so perplexed as to like what was going through the head of the runners, because I don't really know who it was that actually found this like cancel out that we do on this gun. But it just goes to show like trying shit randomly on speedruns can result in you finding shit no one had any clue or expectation was there. Glitches, shortcuts, etc. found in gaming are basically the epitome of somebody saying, fuck around and find out. Also, let me know how my sound levels are. This is only the third one, so I have no real clue what sound levels are like and if everything's tuned properly. Alright, big menu coming up. Gravity, Beast. Keeper. Beef Bracer for Sora. Go off. Bracer. Right. Awkward. Gravity, Beef Bracer. And we got the despawn. Up and away. Elevator time. You have a spare ether. Thank you for roaring twice. That made cleanup of that much nicer. Alright, off to go fight the behemoth. after one more dumb escape. Excuse me. Let me off of this off. Nope. God, beast. Well, you gotta be out here. Drop in. Kill it. Alright, alright. Alright, that was hella funky, but okay. I also think that might have triggered a faster fade out. Interesting. Save most of our time there. We take it. That was weird. I don't think anyone else can claim having finished that fight during the rear back of the charged orb attack. So that'll be kind of entertaining to clip later. Not the fastest fight that has been had there, but entertaining. Alright. If we have a good split here, we're in comfortable spitting distance of 10, which will mean we'll save 13 minutes in 2 runs and a day and a half of being back, essentially. Which, honestly, we take that. Haven't seen that kind of time save since it was back when 4 hours was close to the average run on fucking PS3. Alrighty guys, we are nearing this run. Probably take at least a short break, check in with people around the house, see how things are going. Might do a second one directly afterwards. Alright. Hopefully possible. Only gummy mission in the entire game where we have to actually mind our boosting in transition areas. I think I went a little bit early there. Doesn't actually get you any additional distance. Yeah, definitely a little bit early on one of those. So that's okay. Not great. Not bad. Take it. Awkwardly popping on and offline. And we're back. Sorry about that very brief interruption. A little bit awkward. It spawned an extra one. That's okay. Well, get close enough to open the thing. A little bit of time save there. No Omega drop. That's okay. Oh my god. I wish my network would stop cutting in and out on me. Because going from live to not live is really awkward. Alright. Hopefully my connection is actually stable and we don't keep dropping like that. Otherwise it's just really awkward. Right side is none of these are really going to get a PB attempt out of them. Once we get a little closer to actual PB timing, I might need to do a local record on top of the stream. But we'll see. Alright. What happened in this split where I've lost up? Damn, guys.
Mo